Hello, it is Social Media Saturday, October 17th, 2020. Steve Sipress here, another spectacular, beautiful purple, orange, yellow, blue sunset going on behind me. As I come to you on Social Media Saturday, when social media is all the rage these days, everyone is going absolutely bonkers, crazy, out of their minds over this New York Post story about Hunter Biden's laptop. The whole thing is just so absurd. Hunter Biden dropped off a laptop. Absurdity number one. Didn't come pick it up within 90 days. Absurdity number two. Had all these emails on it. People are trying to find a smoking gun incriminating blah, blah, blah. And the Post comes out with this story. And then Twitter shuts down their account and won't let anybody tweet about it. And Facebook says, oh, it's got to be fact checked. Sure it does. But you post every two-bit nonsense BS story about everything from everybody all over the world. But this one, oh, we got to wait. We got to check. We got to shut down accounts, blah, 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 blah. Look, here's the deal. Oh, and by the way, how good a job did I do of putting as many keywords into the headline for this as possible? I just put anything in there. People are searching these days. Come on now. I mean, I laugh, but because the whole thing is just ridiculous. So, I mean, every single party in this whole thing is a total screw up. New York Post comes out with this thing saying this is the smoking gun 3 weeks before the election, aha, blah, blah, blah. As if that's going to make a difference? How is that a smoking gun? I mean, the Post, notoriously or famously one of the most conservative newspapers in the country, so supporting everything Trump does and against everything Biden and any Democrat does. And so they're coming out with this big story to affect the election, and then they get shut down off of social media on it, so we're not going to let you affect the election. But then, of course, how stupid is that of Twitter and Facebook to censor the thing? Because, of course, the story blew up more than it ever possibly could have. And now they're getting called before Congress. And that's another screw up. Congress calling in the executives from Google, Twitter, and Facebook, who each individual one of them is more brilliant than every member of Congress all put together. And so, as usual, they will run rings around them and make them look like the fools they are compared to these billionaire success stories, these wannabe, wish they were actually powerful politicians. They love calling the successful business people in front of them, but then, as you've seen over and over again, these Facebook, Twitter, and Google people make them look like complete fools. So that's all kinds of nonsense. And they're talking about removing the protection for social media sites to censor or ban some kind of a content that they see as unfit. If they take that protection away, you think they're going to allow more speech and more unfettered information going out? Hello, have you heard of lawyers and lawsuits? Of course, they're going to stop even more stuff from going out. So it'll be to everyone's detriment. Again, the politicians clueless or grandstanding 3 weeks before an election or for whatever reason. But if this foolish thing ever happens and they lift that protection, social media sites are going to ban just about everything. And therefore, trying to look not to be sued and not to be criticized and not to be all this kind of stuff. So fools in Congress, fools at the head of these media companies that are so, everyone, is there anyone that doesn't know how anti-Trump biased all of these media sites and social media companies are? But this is just foolish, backfiring nonsense. Although I say backfiring, is this going to change one single vote in America? I mean, is there really anyone in America who doesn't know that Joe Biden is a lifetime corrupt politician who has used his power and influence and position to enrich his entire family and make them all, including himself, multi-millionaires, rich beyond their wildest expectations, while they are all extremely dumb people, as evidenced by, the evidence for Biden being dumb has been around for decades, and now you see his son who drops off this laptop full of sensitive stuff and then doesn't pick it up. Two incredibly dumb things on top of all the other dumb things. So just all kinds of ridiculous. But anybody that thinks, oh, really? Biden is a corrupt politician who's used his power and influence and position to enrich his family? I had no idea. I didn't know that. That's going to change my vote. Now I'm going to vote for the guy who's been a corrupt businessman his whole life and has enriched his whole family over going bankrupt and screwing the banks and screwing his partners and screwing his workers and, doing all kinds of underhanded deals and, cheating on all of his wives and doing whatever. Could this election really be about anything to do with the people? It's about the policies. I mean, if you have such low self-esteem that you believe you need the government to control you more, then you vote for the party that loves more government control, the left. And if you believe in more personal freedom and responsibility, that everybody should have that in America, it should be the land of the free and the home of the brave, then you vote for the party on the right. And obviously you disregard whoever's name is actually on the ballot, because for the second presidential in a row, we have the corrupt, ridiculous, outrageous, obnoxious outsider against the lifetime corrupt, criminal, swamp-dwelling insider extraordinaire. It's the same as it was 4 years ago in the election. So the choice is between the policies. Anyway, so is this article going to change anything? Is Twitter shutting down, stopping people from tweeting it? Did that stop it from going around? Is Congress going to stop anything when they have these hearings? Whole lot of nothing going on. However, in the midst of all that, here is the important, critical business lesson that every business owner needs to know. And if you don't know it already, hopefully you'll learn it from this situation. If you do any kind of advertising at all, or any kind of marketing at all, which hopefully you do for your business, you're going to get the best results when you tiptoe right up to that line of what's allowed and what's not. So I can't tell you how many of my ads over the years have been disallowed and accounts shut down and banned from advertising, and had to go in and sweet talk the publishers back in the print newspaper days where I was placing ads in little local newspapers where my businesses were. And there's the only paper in town, and I'm looking for help, and I'm posting help wanted ads, and they're shutting me down. Oh, your ads they're too much curiosity. They don't say exactly what the position is or what's going on. You're shut down. Ooh, I've dealt with all this stuff for decades. Anyone has. That if anyone is going to do any kind of effective advertising or marketing, you've got to be a little bit outrageous. You've got to be provocative. So you're going to toe the line of what's allowed by Facebook and Twitter and whatever. They have all their own rules and regulations, and they're protecting whoever they're protecting. They're certainly not protecting small business owners. Do they really care? I mean, Facebook, Twitter, let's just take Facebook. They're bringing in untold multiple millions and millions and millions of dollars a day. Do they really care that your little $1,000 a day budget, what happens to you if your account gets shut down? So here's the lesson. If you do any kind of effective advertising at all, online, offline, anywhere, your account is going to get shut down. It just is. You're going to be towing the line, which means once in a while you're going to tip a little bit over, or the monitors are just going to decide that you tipped a little bit over, and you can argue with them, and you can go back and forth, and you can get your account back open again. You can open up multiple accounts. There's all kinds of solutions to this, but the mindset is important. If you are afraid of advertising effectively, online or offline, or whatever way you're looking to advertise or market, and you're afraid that if you do something wrong, you could get some backlash from it, you are never going to be successful in your advertising and marketing. You've got to get past that and be unafraid of the consequences and just realize it comes with the territory and you will deal with it. So the New York Post knows you publish a controversial story that is against a liberal close to an election. Well, of course, the inflamingly liberal social media sites are going to do anything they can to stop you from publishing that, and on and on. So we know, all effective advertising and marketers know, to be effective, got to be outrageous, got to do things to get attention, And to get attention, you know, let's just take Facebook. Facebook's got all kinds of rules about advertising, what you can and cannot advertise. Go to their website, look it up. You can't advertise anything to do with guns or anything to do with, you can't make any kind of outrageous claims. If you're selling anything that's anything to do with medical anything, there's all kinds of rules and whatever. So, you know, in your copy, in your images, on the website that they click through to be effective, you got to do all kinds of things that Facebook just doesn't allow. So you tamp them down, but it's a fine line. You don't want to remove everything that's effective and outrageous and curiosity-inducing. So you just got to toe the line and understand, yes, you'll get in trouble. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Google, Instagram, all the sites will either shut you down temporarily, ban your ads, shut you down permanently. It's all going to happen. So you decide. You want to be a success in business, you know that's going to happen, and you plan accordingly, and there are all kinds of tips and tactics and things you can do to overcome when that happens. Not if, when that happens. You want help with this, by the way, go to helpfromsteve.com. I'll help you out. But if you just cower in fear or say, oh, I gotta be on this side of the line and tamp my ads down even more than required so that I don't go over that line because I'm afraid to lose my advertising account or get my account shut down. I'm like, oh my goodness. Unfortunately, I guess you don't care too much about all the people depending on you building a successful business, your family, your employees, your suppliers, your customers, or clients, or patients, or members. If you have an excellent product or service, which I hope you do, hopefully you'll do anything you can, heeding J. Abraham's word that it is your moral obligation to advertise, market, and sell your product or service absolutely to the best you possibly can, beyond your own ability, getting all the proper help and experts on board to help you as you can. Otherwise, your prospects are going to go to your competitors who, according to you, hopefully if you're watching this video, provide an inferior product or service. So I guess you just don't care about them either. So that's the lesson learned from this whole thing, no matter who you are. New York Post's been around for, 100-something years. Well known that they are a staunch, strong, right-leaning conservative newspaper. They want to affect the election in their way, just into their candidates, to their candidates' benefit, just the way all the networks and all the, social media sites and big tech companies and whatever want to sway the election towards the liberal candidate. That's just the way it is. So they go out and do something knowing their account might get shut down, this, that, whatever. They did it anyway, okay? I'm thinking they have an alternative plan. And as to all this censorship BS, like there's no First Amendment applying to a private company. Government can't tell Twitter or Facebook what they can or can't publish, what they can allow or not allow on their website. Screw that. It's a private company. Get out of my way. And if you don't like it because they shut down your account, then don't use Twitter or Facebook. New York Post, Donald Trump, whoever you are. You don't like it that you're conservative and those are incredibly left-leaning, anti-conservative organizations, so don't have an account there. Don't put your stuff on there. I put a live video every day on Facebook for the last over 3.5 years, so I don't care what way they lean, and maybe this video they'll take it down because it mentioned Hunter Biden and Facebook in the title. Maybe they'll disallow this one. I got a plan for that, and so should you. It's not a matter of if. When you're doing things right, it's a matter of when. Access to social media, online, any offline way of doing advertising, marketing, sales is going to be shut down from you. Plan accordingly. That's the lesson today on Social Media Saturday. Thanks for being here. I see the sun has set. I'm going to head inside for dinner and a movie with my beautiful wife, Michelle, and I will catch you tomorrow as I check in, as always, on Sunday Fun Day. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.